10 billion Doge tokens are approaching the profit zone. The future of Dogecoin looks promising as more than 10 billion Doge tokens are approaching the profit zone, raising questions about potential changes in the price dynamics of this popular meme coin. Currently, approximately 9.91 billion tokens were purchased within the price range of $0.151 to $0.168, with a total value of over $1.5 billion. The price of Dogecoin has already approached the upper limit of this range, indicating that these tokens may soon enter the profit zone. This situation encourages investors to accumulate assets rather than sell them. Additional support for optimistic sentiments is provided by the MVRV, Market Value to Realized Value, Index, which shows the overall profitability or loss of investors in the meme coin. With a 30-day MVRV at 14%, investors face potential losses over the past month, which also signals accumulation as the MVRV figure is in the range of 7% to 19%, indicating a possible bull market. Currently, Dogecoin faces two major resistance levels, $0.168 and $0.182. Breaking through the first could trigger a recovery rally, while failure could drive the price below the support level of $0.151, leading to significant losses and intensifying market correction. These factors collectively may set the tone for future price movements of Dogecoin, creating opportunities for investors. It is predicted that by 2030, the number of cryptocurrency users will reach 4 billion. Recent studies indicate that by 2030, about 4 billion people will be using cryptocurrencies, accounting for half of the Earth's population. Experts predict an 8-fold increase in the number of users over the next 6 years. Raoul Pal, the founder of Real Vision and former top executive at Goldman Sachs, is confident in the bright future of cryptocurrencies. He compares the adoption rates of cryptocurrencies to the early stages of the internet, noting that, despite potential slowdowns in growth rates, the number of users of the first cryptocurrency will reach 1 billion by the end of 2025. According to the model used by Pal, cryptocurrencies are growing at a rate of 137% per year, significantly surpassing the growth rates of the internet audience in its early stages, where the maximum growth rate was 76% per year. Currently, over 516 million people use cryptocurrencies, whereas the internet had only 187 million users at a comparable stage. Pal believes that such adoption rates indicate high prospects for cryptocurrencies. He also notes that during the last bull market, the cryptocurrency Solana showed exponential growth and quickly updated its historical highs, demonstrating significant interest from investors. The expert also predicts that Bitcoin will update its historical high this summer, after which, he believes, its dominance in the market will decline, giving way to the altcoin season. However, according to Pal, it is difficult to predict which altcoins will lead the growth on the next bull market, though cryptocurrencies with the highest level of adoption remain the most promising candidates. Philippine authorities have demanded that Google and Apple remove the Binance app. The Philippine regulator has once again come into the spotlight after demanding tech giants Google and Apple remove the app of the popular cryptocurrency exchange Binance from their stores. This requirement followed a series of measures aimed at limiting the company's operations in the country. According to Emilio Aquino, the chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) of the Philippines, Binance activities pose serious risks to Filipino users as the platform offers unregistered securities and operates without the necessary broker's license, thus violating national law. The authorities believe that removing the app from Google Play and the App Store prevents access to illegal financial services and promotes the protection of economic stability and security of citizens. This decision is part of a broader campaign to regulate cryptocurrency operations in the Philippines. Recall that in December last year, the SEC gave crypto exchanges 3 months to obtain official registration, and in April this year, restrictions were imposed on withdrawing crypto assets from Binance. According to regulators, such measures are necessary to ensure the financial safety of users and prevent potential financial losses. Crypto.com postpones launch of trading platform in South Korea due to regulatory issues. Crypto.com, a leader in the cryptocurrency exchange industry, has announced the postponement of its new trading platform launch in South Korea. Originally scheduled for April 29, the launch has been indefinitely delayed due to ongoing negotiations with local regulatory authorities. This move follows the company's acquisition in 2022 of the licensed South Korean exchange OKBit, which was intended to serve as the basis for the new platform. Crypto.com's management emphasizes that they are actively collaborating with government institutions to gain the necessary clarifications on their policies and procedures. South Korea represents a complex market for international financial operations, and we are committed to full compliance with local laws and regulations, a Crypto.com representative noted. This announcement comes in the wake of recent penalties imposed on Crypto.com by the Dutch Central Bank, DNB. In March this year, the exchange was fined $3.1 million for violations related to anti-money laundering legislation. Crypto.com reaffirms its commitment to high security standards and adherence to regulatory requirements in all markets where the company operates. Fidelity Digital Assets revises Bitcoin valuation, considering it fairly priced. In its latest report, Fidelity Digital Assets, the cryptocurrency division of the well-known investment company Fidelity Investments, stated that it no longer considers Bitcoin, BTC, a cheap asset. According to their analysis, the cryptocurrency is currently trading at a fair price. While the company maintains an optimistic outlook in the long term, it has downgraded its medium-term rating from positive to neutral. According to a publication on Cointelegraph, despite the revision in medium-term expectations, Fidelity remains positive about the short-term future of Bitcoin. At the end of the first quarter of 2024, there was some potential for short-term profit-taking in Bitcoin. However, company representatives noted that there are no extreme indicators currently observed that typically signify peaks in a bull market. These comments from Fidelity Digital Assets highlight the ongoing volatility and uncertainty in the cryptocurrency market, where investors and analysts continually seek to balance optimism with a realistic assessment of current conditions. Venezuela has accelerated the transition to crypto due to oil sanctions. In response to the reinstatement of oil sanctions by the United States, Venezuela has accelerated the process of transitioning to the use of cryptocurrency in its oil industry. According to reports from Reuters, the state oil company PDVSA plans to expand the use of digital currencies in the export of oil and fuel. This decision is aimed at minimizing the impact of U.S. restrictions, which could seriously complicate the financial operational activities of the Venezuelan oil company. Last week, the U.S. Department of the Treasury set a deadline of May 31st of this year for PDVSA's clients and suppliers to cease their operations under the general license, which U.S. authorities decided not to renew. This step jeopardizes Venezuela's plans to increase oil production and export volumes, as each deal will henceforth require individual approval from the U.S. Since the beginning of last year, PDVSA has started transitioning its payments for sold oil to USDT, Tether, a stable cryptocurrency whose value is pegged to the US dollar. This allows for more stable conditions for conducting trade operations and reduces the risk of funds being frozen in foreign accounts amid an unstable international situation. Sources familiar with the situation note that the new round of sanctions facilitates the acceleration of the shift to digital currency, which becomes a forced measure in the fight to maintain the country's economic stability in the face of external pressure. The price of Bitcoin approached $67,000, fears of a deep correction have dissipated. In the latest surge, Bitcoin's price approached the $67,000 mark, calming the market after fears of a deep correction. The next having significantly impacted the cryptocurrency market, causing a broad increase in the value not only of the main cryptocurrency but also of other assets. According to the CoinDesk Market Index, prices rose for nearly all cryptocurrencies, 163 out of 173 included in the index over the last 24 hours. Particularly noticeable was the growth of the CoinDesk 20 index, which increased by 3% in just one day. The sector of stocks linked to cryptocurrencies also showed positive dynamics. The leaders in growth were Bitcoin mining companies Riot and Hut 8, whose shares increased by 15% to 20% respectively. Shares of the cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase and the company MicroStrategy also showed significant increases, up by 7% and 12% respectively, while shares of Marathon Digital rose by 6%. The rise in transaction fees became an important factor for miners, improving the prospects for company profitability. The recent halving was the fourth in Bitcoin's history and triggered an increase in its price by more than 3% over the last day. Meanwhile, Ethereum remained stable at around $3,200, showing a growth of 1.5% over the same period.